My name is Jacob Brown. I'm going to go over four quick welding processes. First is shielded metal arc welding. This is commonly known as stick welding. It's the simplest and cheapest form of welding. It does not require shielding gas. It's portable. It's just simply a consumable electrode against a workpiece. And some disadvantages, it's got a low deposition rate, which can hurt productivity, difficult to control heat, and there's a greater learning curve because you have to maintain a constant distance away from the workpiece. The next is MIG welding. This is also called gas metal arc welding. It uses a semi-automatic process as a wire-wound spool is automatically fed to the welding gun, and then gas surrounds the electrode to protect it from the outside atmosphere. It has a very high deposition rate. There is no flag with the process, and it has a lesser learning curve because you don't have to worry about maintaining such a constant distance away from the workpiece because the consumable electrode is fed through the wire gun. Some of the cons is it has more moving parts, so it's expensive and it requires shielding gas. The next is flux core arc welding. It's very, very similar to MIG welding. The only difference is that the flux is integral to the filler metal. There's a protective coating or the flux around the electrode that's consumed. And this flux is what produces the slag at the end of the weld. Just like MIG welding, it's got a high deposition rate. It does not require shielding gas, although shielding gas can be used as extra insurance. And it's got a lesser learning curve. Some of the cons, like I mentioned, it produces slag and it is expensive. Lastly, the last process I'll go over is gas tungsten arc welding. This is commonly known as TIG welding or tungsten inert gas welding. It uses a non-consumable tungsten electrode, which is not the filler metal itself, which is different from all the other processes. So you have to manually feed the filler metal, similar to soldering. Some of the pros, it's got a very high precision and quality. It's got a very fine heat control, so you can weld thinner workpieces, and it can weld a wider range of metals like brass, copper, aluminum, steels, stainless steels. And the con of this is a difficult skill. It's the most difficult of the four I've talked about, arguably. It's got a low deposition rate because you have to manually feed the filler metal, and you have a risk of the tungsten electrode breaking off and causing a tungsten inclusion. Those are the four that I've talked about. Thank you.